G'day gorgeous gardening guardians of the earth. I hope everyone's been having fun. I thought I'd take you on a tour of my garden. It's been so long since I've just done a live video walking around talking, and those who have followed my videos will notice that this is a completely different garden. That's because I've moved, and I made this garden as an emergency garden in mid-spring. I dug trenches where all this garden space is. I dug out trenches and I buried the garden waste that was already here on the property. A lot of leaves from this pivot tree that was hanging over from next door. A lot of waste. There's a large camellia tree. There was a lot of waste from the camellia tree over here that I buried. Also a lot of waste for the hydrangeas growing alongside the house. Alongside burying all that garden waste, I also added activated biochar. You can go back and see the video on me making that biochar. I made that biochar knowing that there was a chance that I may have to create an emergency garden, and I'm glad I did, because look at the results. The mixture of that organic material buried under the earth mixed with biochar has just supercharged this ecosystem. And I called it ecosystem because it's truly looking after itself. I don't water it, I don't tend to this garden. I dug out the trenches, I buried the organic waste, the activated biochar, then I planted the seeds and seedlings and used lawn clippings as mulch for weed prevention. As you can see, all this dry dead lawn clippings underneath. That's also feeding the plants, protecting the microbes and the worms so they can bring all that nutrients up through the top layer of the soil without being baked by the sun. I come in and I prune, I manage the light, I make sure all the fruit, all the tomatoes, everything is getting enough light and air. I make sure that nothing is overshadowing anything else, that everything's getting even light. Look at the rich purple on these tomatoes. This is an emergency garden that turned out even better than I expected, and I feel like I have even streamlined my own natural eco-gardening system. And for a garden that just relies on natural rainfall, the production at the moment is phenomenal. Just look at all these heavenly gold beans. These are my favorite. All that organic material buried under the garden holds water and hydrates the garden through the dry periods. While giving the beneficial microbes, fungi and bacteria food and a home to live. Alongside the biochar, that gives all these microbes, all this underground life, a solid base to latch onto and to grow out from and absorb this nutrients, work this nutrients through the soil. They turn the soil for me, moving nutrients, moving chemicals. Their activity in the soil is life itself, and the web, the fungal webs that are living on the organic matter that is buried also connect all the plants, connect the garden as one living being through the soil, so that water and nutrients can be moved around where it's needed the most. And in trade, the plants absorb sunlight and give sugar to the fungus under the soil, and the fungus helps the plants out by managing water and nutrients. So the garden's all a go. Everything's awesome. Happier than ever. Can't wait to film this process from beginning to end and show the results, because it's such a fast process with fast yielding results, and I'm super excited. And I wish I filmed it, but truth be told, when I moved, I'm in Victoria, Australia. Things have been really crazy here with government stuff, and I wasn't in a good frame of mind when I created this garden, and I really knew I should have filmed it and made a video documenting the creation and the results. But being in such a low, depressed state of mind, I didn't want that to come through the camera. I didn't want to film myself depressed building a garden, so that's why none of this was documented or filmed. But next time it definitely will be, no matter what state of mind I'm in, because in retrospect I think that would have been a good thing, because a lot of people were going through that. A lot of people had to make fast and unexpected changes, a lot of gardeners, and what I did here just recreated what I already had going. What took me 3 years to get going, I recreated in 6 months here. So I wish I did film it, even though I wasn't at my emotional best, because a lot of people were going through it, and it was the reality of reality, and I made something good come up. That chicken's running around. Let's say hello to the chicken. What have I been doing? Well, I've been having to make a living, so I have been multiplying rare and indigenous plants to sell through shops, to sell at markets, to sell wherever I can. I've got a bit of everything going, taking cuttings, growing seeds, cloning, just multiplying and multiplying plants. So a lot of this stuff here is ready for market: holy basil, saltbush, salvias, native oregano, African basil, blue salvias, saltbush rue, sun opener, native thyme, Inca berries, broadleaf sage, variegated elderberries, Russian sage, white sage. We just have everything. The new color range of buddleia, some local natives. We also have natives grown for regeneration projects, for a festival coming up, Inca berries, red daisies. We've just got everything growing on. Collises. So this is sort of what's ready for market. This is what's almost ready for market. And then we have fruit trees over here, which we guerrilla garden in public areas. Fruit trees for guerrilla gardening. And over here we have the nursery, astral indigo babies popping up, and we have the cloning factory in the shade and cool here. So this is where I just take cuttings of the plants I want to sell, and this is where they relax and grow their roots and get strong enough till they can go out into the sunlight. So that's how I make my living. And oh, these are yin yang beans I harvested from that section over here, all these beans here. So I just buried old camellia leaves in the soil and grew these yin yang beans. You see there? Trying to do stuff and holding the camera, I always get confused. The beautiful patterns. that's what's been growing on in my new garden the last 6 months. I've also done the same thing to my grandfather's garden. I think I uploaded a video about it, maybe a chop and drop video I did there. Managing also another big garden commercially, so there's a lot going on. It's hard to keep my head around it. I write a lot of my gardening stuff down because I have trouble with times and dates and this and with that. I tend to just focus more on the seasons, what the weather's doing, what the plants are doing. I can't even rely on the seasons really. I just have to watch what the plants are doing because they know what's going on, and that's when I know what I'm doing. So I'm managing a lot at the moment, also moving. I don't know if this place is temporary or not, so I'm keeping it all going and it's awesome, and hopefully I'll find a perfect property where I can set up a proper system to grow all these beautiful plants and to grow my own food and to support myself completely from the earth while giving back and being a part of the natural systems of life, falling back into alignment with the laws of nature and piggybacking on that current and riding it to my own destiny. Well, have fun everyone. Thanks for watching my video. I've got some really awesome videos coming out that I've been putting a lot of time and energy into. This was literally just on the spot rambling. But stay tuned for more excellence to come. Have fun everyone.